Why, good morning, you beautiful souls. I hope that you had a wonderful weekend, and I do hope that this post-eclipse season has been as easeful and effortless as it can be for you, because just from having some of the feelers out there in the community and just even with the personal and professional, it definitely is a early season. I see many things changing and unfolding for a lot of people right now. So what better theme than the flow of change? So we're going to drop in real quick. Go ahead and get your last few wiggles out. Get a good little stretch in. Shake out any extra tension that you got in the body. And we'll begin. We'll take a nice deep breath in here to regulate the system. From the tips of the toes to the crown of the skull, take a nice deep inhale. Ensure you have a nice smile on your face. And drop the breath with a sigh of relief. With that same sigh of relief, we'll transmute our exhale into a mighty and powerful Om. When you hear the tap of the singing bowl, take a big deep inhale. Allow your body to relax as you chant that divine chord, ensuring that you lower the jaw as much as you can. Allow that A note to resonate. And as you close the mouth, the U and the M will form. In our usual fashion, we'll chant 3 Oms before we drop in. Release the body of breath here. And the time is now to call the body to rest, to simply sit back within the mind and to witness. Allow all unfoldings to arise as if you're watching a film, silently observing. If you don't yet, ensure that you have a gentle smile, for today's practice is going to radiate love. So truly fall in love with these moments of stillness, of calm, of peace. When you hear this next tap of the singing bowl, shift your attention and focus to the sound of the bowl as it rings. And as it fades, so too allow your beingness to shift that attention, that awareness, to the quiet, the silence, the stillness. When it is autumn and the leaves begin to fall off the trees, do we see them resisting? Do we see them holding on and refusing to allow their extra foliage to drop? Or do they simply let go? And we get to witness the dance of the leaves drifting through the sky. We can look to the seasons, for as we are of earth, bodies living and thriving, consuming and returning to this planet. We must come to recognize that we are deeply ingrained. We are connected. We are one with the changes that arise here. And this is the season of spring. Having gone through the darkness of winter, already falling, as we've seen with autumn, we're entering into that opportunity of rebirth. Post-eclipse, many have already been witnessing that call to action, to shift their beingness towards that which is breaking through, not which is breaking down. Winter is a guide for us to simply look at what within needs to drop, to germinate, to gestate, to develop that in which we know is within us. Yet this springtime is one of abundance, one of life, renewal, the birth, which is why for centuries, eons, this springtime has been the beginning of the year. It matters not what calendar is used, for again, we are of earth. So what has been breaking through and what has been breaking down in your life? This contrast of where we should be aligned within our own life has been highlighted, amplified due to the eclipse. And already many have been seeing and witnessing and experiencing the wheels turning and set in motion. So again, take a moment to rest within your heart, to lean in to those energies that are transmuting, that are transforming within you and around you. What is being called forth from you by life? These points of observation should stray far from opinion, and in fact be in that realm of objectivity. So take a step back and witness. What are the themes, the patterns, the cycle that life is presenting you? What opportunities has the universe laid out before you? One could even see it as a red carpet being laid out before them. The comings, the goings, the energies dropping away and shifting. So within this last week since the eclipse, what have been the subtle and not so subtle signs from this universe that have been pointing you towards change? If there's one thing that's actually guaranteed in this lifetime of the human experience, it is the fact that change is a force that is always present. We experience it and witness it with the form on the individual level. In the environmental, we have the seasons. And as we are all unique windows of awareness, channels of source to flow through, there is infinite expressions of this change. But take note to nature. Take note to that which is around you currently. Flowers blossoming and blooming, spreading their love via aroma, pollen. The reemergence of all of the little critters outside. The songs of companionship, of mating, of love, of life, from all of nature's creations. So what's your heart song calling forth? What is your soul screaming out to be expressed? And what energies within you are dropping away, shifting, changing? Know that that which is arising currently in our wild and wonky world is like a raging river. That direction is becoming more and more potent, more and more clear. So where are you still swimming upstream, fighting the current? What is life calling forth for you to take control of? It can be a wide scope, but many are being called and compelled to lean back into that realm, that life, that way of being, of compassion, of dedication, of playful expression, forgiveness, letting go. The energies are apparent. The current climate of the world, the tensions, the wars. That fiery energy is being called forth within every one of us to bring about change. Yet this process is unfolding and being encouraged to take a different path, to go into the realm of the unknown, to dance the dance that your soul came here for. And this cannot be done in the patterns and ways of old. For we are the generations that are intended to pivot, to transmute the energies of the past, and march forward into the unknown with our head held high, unified, expressing and radiating love, not only for ourselves and our experience, those around us, our loved ones, but for everything, for everyone, to come back into that understanding that this is a play of consciousness, that this life, this experience is a gift. But have we been treating it as such? Has that energy and witnessing of gratitude been seeping into and radiating over every moment? Has that childlike play been evoked within us? That seemingly the world may be crumbling, but we know it is the old breaking down. The time is now to divert your energy and attention and beingness towards fear. For those energies no longer serve us. Anything that stems in that realm of fear, the doubts, the angst, separation, again is being forcibly called out now. And such happenings will only be amplified. Take a nice deep breath in. And in that exhale, release any remaining tensions. Looking around within your experience and those around you, what patterns do you observe? Those energies that are breaking down, those connections that are no longer serving your highest good. All of the life happenings, those expressions that cause a closing, a tension, a wall, a divide. And in this very subjective analyzation, we must come to recognize that each of us will have our own unique path to take here. But it is that final shakeout, so to speak, where those remaining tensions that cause us to close off from giving and receiving love, from standing in our power, from radiating our truth. The time is now to lean in, to let go, and to live, to love. Yet that is the flow and the force of change in this world, always evolving, ever growing. For life will always find a way. But it is up to our willingness to participate in this opportunity to transmute, to transform, and to transcend. So again, take a moment to look back within your experience at where there is still resistance. And know and take this subtle yet very urgent warning that the times will accelerate in their tensions. And it is up to our own willingness, our own ability to manifest and direct that stream of consciousness towards that in which we seek, which will directly impact how much chaos we experience in these coming times. For ultimately, that is the encouraging and playful knowing that is coming through. That this final shakeout is again one that is intended. Is that added energy, that fuel to the many fires within our hearts that will allow us to actually break through beyond into a new realm of beingness. And that is the exciting factor here. But one must come to recognize fully that if we do not let go of everything that life is calling forth to break down and to be left behind, it will be chaotic. Many have already seen their worlds turned up. Yet know that everything that is arising again is divine in timing. So can we fall in love with every frame of now? Can we breathe love into our body with every breath? For the keys to the kingdom have been given to each of us. And although we are always protected and guided and have assistance at our disposal, in the veil beyond and the energies around, that note of responsibility, that note of integrity, that note of compassion is one that permeates through all of our lives. Yet again, that call to action is different for each and every one of us, but the themes, the energies of what we're stepping into as a collective are all towards unification, towards love, towards betterment, bringing out the best within ourselves and everyone around us. And when we lean into those energies that are breaking through, just like the current in a river, it'll take you down far beyond your own efforts. And the excitement, the encouragement, the playful energy that is coming through is knowing that life will become so cinematic, we won't even be able to handle it. We'll just be left in awe, in glee. And when leaning into the energies of love that are breaking through, it is that which evokes those happy tears. And although it may seem cheesy and cliche, it is such a potent energy. It is such a opportunity, a once in a lifetime dance that we can swing through, that we can do our thing. One could say it's a swirling vortex of creativity. And just like the Tasmanian devil, swirling and spiraling through it can create mischief and chaos in our lives. Or it can be the winds that create the order. But what is the challenge that life is presenting you? And know that it is intended to liberate, to free your soul, to step into a pure and greater expression. Our ability to manifest and create is getting amplified, which is why we must come to recognize all that life is calling forth to drop. Are all those energies, patterns, mindsets, perspectives that are holding our manifestations back from coming to true and full fruition. The red carpet is laid out for us. But are we going to lovingly walk down it? Or are we going to fight it? Are we going to take ourselves out of the stream and flow of life and rest upon the shores, watching everyone else change and struggle, grow, and empower themselves? Stagnancy is that one energy that will not be tolerated and allowed during this time. What is coming through is that knowing, that energy of a divide, a splitting, but not a splitting as a separation, but rather a shaking. No longer will we be allowed to be in both pools of resistance and surrender. That divide is growing because it is something that is going to point and push each and every one of us towards commitment or resistance, choosing a side. Very clear, like there's two sides of a fence, and no longer will we be allowed to tightrope our way across it. But we must choose the left or the right, the light or the dark, love or fear. This absolute knowing, this absolute process is that of the divine. Again, it goes beyond us. It's mirrored in our individual lives as we are all one. Yet on the collective, it is being called forth for us to stand up for. Will we create a world of love and growth and progress? Or will we allow this place to crumble through fear and division and hatred? How is this reflecting in your own life? Where is life shaking you off the fence? And what is it calling forth within you? And know that when we resist, that these times, everything will become amplified. Subtle cues and gentle nudges will become drastic pushes and urgent shoves. Yet on the other side of that fence, those subtle and small synchronicities will turn into clear, broad daylight, divine happenings, cinematic and whimsical moments. For all is intended to bring us closer to Source. That path of remaining in the energies that are breaking down will cause experiences that are forcing us to go within, to reestablish that connection with our Creator, to evaluate where we are still blocked at giving and receiving love. And on that side of the energies that are breaking through, will be whimsically danced, guided, and swimming through these new opportunities with big waves of growth and transformation. Yet it's loving and playful. So we must come to look within our own lives at which we're being called forth to surrender and to act. And ultimately, the image of a leaf resting on top of the river, gliding down through all the different streams. A beautiful journey, an effortless one. seemingly there may be drops. There may be points of tension, for we cannot see what is around the other bend. But in this path of surrender, of acting and encouraging, of compassion and love, it is the stream, the river, that'll take us back to the ocean. That oneness, that fullness. So we must allow that divine expression to unfold, to clear our channels, and not just allow spirit to guide us, life to show us, but for our soul to finally take the steps in which we want to take. For again, the keys are already in our hands, and life has been trying and attempting to tell all of us that the next path, the next leg of this journey, this next book in which we're currently in, is written in accordance to us. Yet those parameters that life has been encouraging and pointing us are those opportunities to create and write that highest storyline, that best play. And the energies of playfulness come through excitement, because life will truly begin to dance in such a cinematic fashion that it will leave us at the edge of our seats. So lean in and take a deep breath, filling yourself up with as much air and prana and chi as you can. And when the lower lung is filled, allow the upper to expand, lifting the body up, filling yourself up with as much air as you can. Again, taking a final sip. And you've reached that peak, and gently hold. And release the body of breath effortlessly, gently. When you hear the next 3 taps of the singing bowl, again, as we started, we'll take a deep breath in with each sound of the bowl as it rings. And with our exhale, we'll transmute it into a mighty and powerful Om. Namaste. Whew. I bow to the divine within. Potent, 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 potent. Just the energies, the feeling, the impressions coming through. We are currently in quite the cinematic time, everyone. And there's a really beautiful opportunity here for each and every one of us to step into our soul's purpose fully. I think part of this aspect, this knowing that is coming through, is there's been a loving invitation this whole last year, really since the last eclipse in 2017. There's been a lot of change and transformation within everyone's lives to really just, again, show us that it's like, hey, it's okay. You can trust. You can lean in. And I guess you could say that it's like a knowing that like life is kind of like, hey, we were really gentle and also not so gentle in this kind of invitation, this inviting towards growth, towards looking within the path, whatever people want to call this experience of change and growth and transformation. But post-eclipse, it's definitely like, yo, we tried to warn you. We tried to encourage you. We tried to point you towards it, And now again, it is that kind of like yeet, that push. Oh. But it is just as much as that, like, anyone who's been skydiving, it's kind of like the last few years have really just been like, getting all the gear ready, checking your parachute, folding it up, and, that tension-filled ride up to the, altitude where you're about to jump. And I feel like it's very much so that, like, doors open, you're at the edge. It's like, yo, are you going to jump? And at some point, they're going to push you out the plane because you have to jump. They're not going to take you back down. And that's kind of where we're at. I really do just like have that knowing. I've been seeing it just on, the personal, the professional, the societal. And that again is really the opportunity for each of us, is to look where we can lean in, to look where we can really take that leap of faith. And the encouragement here is just know that you're okay. You've always been okay, even when it seems like we haven't been. And for us to come back into that eternal knowing of what we are, of who we are, of where we are created from, and who our creator is. That right there is the encouragement for all of us to really, again, no longer put our well of beingness in sipping from those waters of like the individual, separate, it's just me, myself, and I'm just a human being. It's that time to go to the other side of the fence and drink from the waters of our eternal spirit, of our true strength, our infinite love, one that can never go away. And ultimately, that's what I feel most of us are being pushed towards, is that re-remembrance that you're not the flesh, that you must look within. And again, what are those energies that are breaking through in your life? What's the encouragement that life is showing you? Like, hey, this is the path to take. Trust. We're resisting it still. Yeah, I think that's good. Little logistical thing. I'll just wrap up. Got the mic stuff figured out, so should still be with me. I'm seeing the mic go now. Just got to be really tapped in to make sure I'm clicking the right one when we start off, because the camera, if it's using the default microphone, it just like cuts out after like 20-some minutes or something like that. But we got it figured out today. And with that, I thank you for joining me. Well, I guess us is like the team. And I wish you nothing but the best in this journey. I know it can seem like a scary ride right now, and that's also a sign that there's a lot of resistance. Because currently the path that we're on right now is definitely that other extreme, that other side of the fence, where life is really trying to be as cinematic, as whimsical, as playful and inviting and loving as it can be. But it's up to our willingness and our participation in the play. I love you so much. May the fruit of knowledge offer a seed, and in that seed may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment. For a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all whom ask. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. I love you so much. Have a great day. Have a great week. And I'll touch base with you next Sunday. Peace.